I'm Lindsay, and this is Lindsay Knows Local, the podcast where I keep you in the loop on everything happening in our community, from new businesses and local events to development updates and the people making it all happen. This is your inside look at what's coming, what's changing, and what you don't want to miss. Whether you live here, work here, or just love knowing what's next, this podcast is all about staying connected, supporting local, and knowing your community a little better. Because when it comes to what's happening around here, Lindsay knows local.
Welcome back to Lindsay Knows Local. We're going to dive right in to summer camps. I know you're thinking to yourself, this is a little early, but the really good camps that you want to have your kids get into fill up fast. And I'm going to give you an array of options from ones that are more affordable to ones that are specialty. And, they can get sort of pricey if you're talking about overnight camps or a specialty camp. They can run around $500 a week. So we'll give a good range of camps over the summer. Some will be overnight. Some will be just day camps. Some might even be just a couple hours because we might need just a few hour breaks from our kids to get our sanity back and then be able to proceed with our days. Book early. The good ones fill up fast. It's sort of like your second mortgage at this point going into summer. So we're going to go right in with one of my favorites that is right here in Tomball. It's called Camp Lone Star. So there's actually two locations that you can do. One is in LaGrange, gorgeous, and then one is in Tomball, and it is so pretty. The one in Tomball is just going to be day camps. The one in LaGrange has options of day camps and overnight. So if you're looking for overnight, like a 4 to 5 day overnight camp, LaGrange is a good option. And then if you want more day camps, Tomball is a really good option. So they are faith-based. And one good thing is when I was reading through it, it sounds like what we used to do in the 90s. We would do arts and crafts and it's faith-based led, and we do, they have archery and just running around, enjoying nature, team building, basket games. When I was reading through it, I was like, this is the camps that I used to go to. So definitely check out Camp Lone Star. It does have different options. Day camps, they're a week. So they're going to run you a little bit cheaper than an overnight camp. I think for the day camp, it's around $400 for the full week. And it's full day. And then overnight's obviously going to be more expensive. And also the ages for the Tomball camp is 6 to 12. So good range that they can, if you have a couple kiddos, they can definitely go to this camp. So definitely check it out. Okay, so the next camp we're going to talk about is the Tomball West camp. So we previously talked about Tomball West, fantastic facilities. They've done little teasers for us. If those that get the newsletters in Tomball, showing us the facilities. They've got the football field, turfed softball fields, baseball fields, all turfed, ready to go. And they're doing the final grading on the soccer fields right now. And my jaw's on the floor because the facilities are going to be so nice. So with this Tomball West camp, just know that you're getting first cleats on the turf. Your kiddo's going to be first ones to use the facilities. And so it's a really good way to get in and meet the coaches, because a lot of the coaches that are be coaching at Tomball West will be at these camps. The head football coach, James, will be with the kids that are playing football, basketball coaches, soccer. So it's a really good way to get some one-on-one time with the coach before, you get overwhelmed and inundated with all these kids. They can get that time to get to know each other a little more intimate before they're thrown in for the normal welcome to Tomball West sports sort of feel. Okay, so with the Tomball West camps, one good thing is that if you are grades 7 through 10th, one stipulation is that you have to be in the residence, like the attendance zone for Tomball West to go to these camps. So it's going to be very focused on incoming students going to Tomball West, which I think is great. Now, for the other camps that are younger age, they have kindergarten for volleyball. That's the youngest camp. And then they have 1 or 2 for first grade. I think baseball might be first grade, and pretty much all the other sports, softball, basketball, baseball, they're going to be third grade and up. So majority you're going to see these camps running with Tomball ISD is going to be third grade and up. But they do have a few for the young ones. So these run during the week, Monday through Friday, usually about a 3-day span. And they're for a couple hours. These won't be a full day camp, but I will say their whole thing is sharpen your skills in speed and strength and learn a new sport. A lot of these, if your child hasn't maybe tried a lot of volleyball, but they've maybe done it just here and there, don't feel intimidated. Bring them out to one of these camps. For $125, you might as well. It's very affordable. And like I said, you're going to see a lot of familiar faces. If you're in Tomball ISD at these camps, you might see some past graduates, helping out in these camps. But it is a really good option, especially it being at Tomball West with top-notch facilities. And like I said, nobody's used these. They're brand new. So definitely check it out if your kids are going to Tomball West and they're going to be in that 7th to 10th grade bracket. Really good idea to get them in. And just it won't be as intimidating either to meet a coach on this type of playing field, so to speak, versus when you have all of your classmates there and it's, we're rolling into school. There's a lot of things that go through your kid's mind going into school, classes and athletics and just a new school. Their brains are full and summer they're relaxed. They don't have homework. They don't have to think about it. So just know that's a really good, affordable option and something I'm definitely going to look to for my kids. So the next one I'm very familiar with, my daughter actually started in this program first, and she is now in a different gymnastic facility, but Cypress Academy has been around since 1982. So they've been established in gymnastics for a very long time. And one thing they do very good at is they run great camps. They have now expanded to several locations now. They have a location in Bridgeland. They have a location off Huffmeister, which is their main. That one was the one that was built in 1982 and is massive. They have one off Kirkendall. And then their last one, I believe, is, Huffmeister, Black Horse, and Woodlands. Yeah. So those are the 3 locations. With Cypress Academy, they run camps from 4 and older. Now, note your child does need to be potty trained for these camps, which I don't think is a big deal because most 4-year-olds are potty trained. But just know that if they're not, then they can't go to these camps. One thing they do is they do gymnastic activities, and they also have a ninja style camp, which I think is really good for boys because sometimes they might not want to do gymnastics, but they see ninja and it's more, I feel, free-spirited, so to speak. It's more not as structured. It's a little more chaotic. Lots of different apparatuses and grips they're using. If your child, likes either one of those routes, really good place to bring them, and lots of different ways to bring them to. You have 3 locations, so it's not just the main Huffmeister. They do the camps at all 3. One thing to note is that these camps run from 9 to 3:30. So that's a full day camp, in my opinion. We talked about before care and after care. So if you need those extended hours, this camp will definitely work for you. So before care is an extra $30, and that gives you 7:30 to 9 a.m. And if you need a little longer after 3:30, you can do 3:30 to 5:30, and that's $30. So if you break that down, it's like $15 an hour, which is very affordable. To sweeten the deal, they also offer sibling discounts. And so if you have a second kiddo, 10% off. If you have additional kiddos past the second, 20% off. So that's a really good savings when you think about how long they're going to be there. It's structured. And then also, if you need those longer hours, if you have a commute, Cypress Academy is a really good option. And they run all through the summer, June and July. Gymnastics is a mix of summer camp chaos, I think, and in a good way, because they have this 3-story almost, my daughter called it a castle, but it's like a 3-story carpeted playground that they can play in with a foam pit below it. They have trampolines, floor, all kinds of different mats that they can work on. And then Ninja, it's just a room filled with all kinds of cool things. They have the big ninja wall that they can use, big and small, and different varieties. So check it out if you have kiddos, boys and girls. There's something for everyone here, and it really has a lot of variety if you need those longer hours. Next, we're going to go into if you have a kid that's like, no, thank you, no sports, no gymnastics, no ninja. I want a calm environment. I don't want chaos. I also have a kiddo like that calm. There's an art school called Cordovon Art School, and they have locations in Austin, Houston, and they are creative camps to allow your kiddos to have that creative outlet. And not just your typical, when I started looking at this, your typical, okay, let's just paint. They have anime options. They have even, which my daughter would die, a Labubu class of drawing, which I don't know if your kids are still in the Labubu phase. My daughter is. She loves it. So they have like a Labubu class of drawing and things of that. And one thing I really liked about this camp is that they break it out in very specially grouped. So they have 4 to 5-year-olds. So if you have a beginner art kiddo, they have a class for them all the way up to 18. So there's a big difference between an artist that's 18 and a kid that's starting off at 4. And they have so many options. They do offer full day 9 to 4, but they also have drop-in classes. So if you just need a break for 2 hours, drop them into the class for just that art creativity they need for the day. I'm not creative at all. I cannot draw. I can barely draw a stick figure. So my daughter loves to draw. So this is a really good option for her if she wants to do drawing, painting, or even pottery. They offer all of that here. And like I said, they break it out by age group. So they're not going to feel intimidated if, there's younger kids and older kids in the classroom. They have a wide range, and also tons of locations. Like I said, they're in Austin and in Houston. So probably the easiest if you live in the Tomball North Side area is the Woodlands location, but they also have a Spring location as well. So definitely check it out. If you have a calm kid that doesn't want any sports, this is a great avenue for them to do over the summer. If you have a kid in baseball, travel ball, y'all are serious. So this is DBATS. It's located right off Boudreaux. So this is the camp that if you need them to get in the batting cages, fielding, training, pitching, DBATS is a really good job. And they have camps that run from about 9 to 2. And they offer multiple day discounts. So again, good, affordable offer. This camp is going to be for 6 to 12-year-olds. So I think that, you can do a 1-day option or you can do multiple days. So that runs about $65 for 1 day versus $375 if you want to do a full multi-day camp. And a lot of the moms that I know that do travel ball, you're going to be doing multiple day. So if your kid is serious about baseball, definitely check out this skill building camp. It's not going to be babysitting at all. So DBATS is a really good offer. So the last camp I want to talk about is for the kiddos that are more STEM based. So that means they're strong in math and science. This is called a Lego STEM camp. It's by Bricks and Minifigs in Tomball. And the camps are $125 for multi-week sessions. And if your kid loves Legos, they will love this type of camp. It's creative, it's a calmer environment, and they get to be surrounded by what they love to do, which is build Legos. I know that during the summer, I buy my son a couple Lego sets, but we all know they add up quick. Even a small set now is like $30. And so this gives them the creativity and the access to so many Legos that they can build to their heart's desire on many different projects. Now, this camp usually runs about $200 to $350 a week. So it is a little bit more expensive. But if you have an engineering mind kiddo, this is Legos, but they're also building that engineering core that they love. So definitely check out Minifigs. They have a couple locations. They have locations in the Woodlands and in Tomball, Magnolia, lots of different options if you're in the northwest side of Houston. That's your local update. Make sure you're following along because we'll be posting every Thursday of Tomball and the surrounding areas. And if you're thinking about moving to Tomball or anywhere near Tomball and the surrounding areas, just know that I'd love to help you. I'll see you guys next week. That's Lindsay Knows Local.